Hello and welcome back to Kirsten's Cove. So today I wanted to talk about my favorite romance books because Valentine's Day is next week and now is a great time to pick up a good love story. I'm gonna do this in three different parts. I have the books that the physical books that I've read, and then Kindle Unlimited is great for romance books, and I've read 53 in the last 2 months. So I'm going to talk about my favorite from there, and then my favorite on my TBR, just because I've heard great things about some of these books, and I'm really excited to read them, and I think that they're still worth mentioning. So I could not start this video out any other way except with my favorite romance author. I have loved every book that she's read. She is one of those, like, if I see a book by her, I'm picking it up, doesn't matter. And that is Emily Henry. My favorite one from her is Book Lovers. I love the twist on Hallmark movies that it has. Um, Enough said. That is kind of like a rivals to lovers, small town romance. This is also kind of a rival. Wait, Beatrice also kind of a rivals to lovers. They are both authors. I heard that there's an alternate ending to this book for like the UK version, and I just found that out earlier today, and I want to know what it is, and I'm gonna go find it, read it. And then People We Met on Vacation is a kind of like friends to strangers to lovers book that I also very much enjoyed and would definitely recommend. This next one is gonna be kind of controversial, but I like to read romance books after I've read something super heavy. So my 53 Kindle Unlimited books came after finishing Iron Flame and Kingdom of Ash, because if you know that, like, those are super heavy, and so hence 53 romance books since then. And so I like ones, sometimes I like one that is just very cheesy, and I know it's going to be cheesy. It's going to be more like YA, not super complicated, not super heavy. And so an author that I think does that really well, or a really easy read that you can like just kind of breeze through it, doesn't take a lot of thought, is Colleen Hoover. My favorite one from her is November 9. Just kind of made me giddy. I don't know. Like, I was definitely sad at some points, and then like Reminders of Him has some more like heavy topics, but I think that these are two really easy reads. And to me, good love stories, in my opinion, and that is totally okay if you disagree with me. And then so I have some romantasy options, because I never actually really thought that romantasy was a genre until I was actually like between TikTok, and then I was just like, oh, I guess this does have a really strong romance plot. First one, of course, Court of Thorn and Roses, and specifically this book. This one in particular. This one is my favorite. You can't read this one without reading Court of Thorn and Roses first. It's not one of those types of series, but this one, chapter 54. Oi. Mwah. Okay, so one of my next favorite romantasy books is Infernal Devices, which is one of the Shadowhunter series. I love this, and like, yes, it is a fantasy book, but like there's a nice little love triangle that goes on. That is a big part of the plot, and I really like it. Another one which I forgot to grab, it's right over there. Actually, you can kind of see it. It's the white one. There it is, right there. Um, Dark Artifices has the romance plot isn't as big or as part of or big a part of the story, in my opinion, as Infernal Devices. There's one of the romance plots is a very large part of the story, and then there's kind of a side one that is a why choose, and I loved it. It was kind of the first why choose trope that, or like plot that I'd read. But the other one is Friends to Lovers, and I quite enjoyed, and also Forbidden Romance. With Dark Artifices, just in my opinion, the romance plots aren't as big or as crucial to the story. And now that I'm saying that out loud, it absolutely is. So ignore that. That one should be included. I'm just not gonna get up and go get it. But trust me, it's over there. And it counts. And the last romantasy book that I wanted to share was, of course, Fourth Wing. This is a good enemies to lovers The main character is disabled, or the main female character is disabled, um, which just with a disability that I have, and so it was wonderful reading that one. And the love story is also just really giddy and makes you kind of, I don't know, it makes me kick my feet, and I love those. So next up are the Kindle Unlimited books. If you like romance books and you don't have Kindle Unlimited, I definitely suggest getting it because it is only I think it's $12.99 a month. Um, and like I said, I read 53 of them in 2 months and only paid $26. So it definitely helps with how fast or how much, like how fast I get through books. Um, and the fact that that 53 books would probably break my bank account. So I definitely recommend it if you are a romance author. It's not great for every genre, but for romance, I think it is a fantastic option. So my favorite author that I've read, I think every book that she has out at the moment, Stephanie Archer. I love it. She has the Vancouver Storm series, which is a hockey romance series. Good, love it, great. Um, and then she has Queen's Cove, which is the one that I'm like, oh, it's a small town romance, and it's 4 books, and they follow 4 brothers. The first one probably isn't my favorite, but it helps like set up the world, like set up. These are like standalones that you can like read in the series, so you don't technically have to read the first one. I just was, to me, it felt like it went really quick, but for someone else, that might be exactly what they want. But The Wrong Mr. Right still is in my brain, and I still think about it. And I read it in like early December, and I still think about that book. It's so good. It is about a bookstore owner and a surfer, and it just makes my heart sing. Okay, so the next kind of another small town romance book, Elsie Silver's Chestnut Springs series. I think it's the 4th one that was my favorite. That was so good. Um, that's a great spell. They are cowboys. One of them is on a hockey player that's like friends with the family. But it's about cowboys. And so if you are, I definitely recommend giving that one a shot. It's sounds good. Oh, this next one. Okay, the 4th book is coming out soon, and it cannot come out soon enough because I love it. It is the Windy City series. This one I also really love because it takes place, like it's based in Chicago, and any books that are based in a city that I spent a lot of time in, I did my entire college career there before I moved out to Pacific Northwest. Or any books that like normally it's the female main characters in a job that like either I want or I've studied in or I've had. I really love those. Um, the Windy City series is another like sports romance, but there's 3 books right now, and each book follows a different sport. So the first book is hockey, the second book is basketball, and the third book is baseball. They're all really, really good. So good. Um, so I highly recommend that one. I would say like if you're gonna start on Kindle Unlimited, I would go Stephanie Archer and then Windy City series. Like amazing. One that I just finished, so this next series I just finished reading, and it's the Dreamland Billionaire series. Again, 3 books follow 3 different brothers. You kind of see that a lot when it's these like standalone in a series as they're following like people in the family. Um, it's kind of like a play on Disneyland or Disney World and like that whole everything. Oh, each book is a different trope. And you'll tend to see that in these series of like each book is kind of like a different trope or tends to be a different trope, which is fantastic. So you're not just like reading the same like storyline and like the same plot, just with different characters, which is very helpful and very nice. And go the authors for doing that. Definitely recommend the Dreamland Billionaire series. I was so giddy with it. I immediately texted my friend and was just like, yep, you absolutely need to read these. This next one, the Hayes Brothers series by I.A. Dice. It's more like different tropes. There's no like, it follows 7 brothers, but there's 6 books because in the first book you find out right away that one of the brothers is about to be engaged. And so this was one where like I didn't think that I was going to like it as much, but my cat is crying. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much, but then I read all six in a week. So it was it was very good. The only issue that I had with it, or like it was just like at the end, so all of these have happily ever after, so you know you're gonna get like that they're gonna get together. And if you don't like it when you know, or like when you're just like, oh, they're gonna be together by the end, yeah, okay. But if you're looking for a nice twist and turns, go read mystery. Romance might not be for you. Um, I just was like some of these I wasn't a fan of like how fast they got married. That was it. That was pretty much it. And that only happened I think in like one or two of them. But if that doesn't bother you, then that's okay. And I just would like in my brain I would just like move the date back and be like it was just longer than it actually was. Which is kind of what I always do with when like some just like something like that gives me a small bit of a nick. This next one, okay, just a couple more. The Hawkeyes Hockey series by Kenna King. There's two more left in the series. I the way that I'm so excited for this. Um, I think they come out like this spring. I think both of them come out this spring. Oh, it's so good. It's a hockey team. This is one where like the professions are very similar to, or like the profession for like the first book was PR, and I was just like, oh, I do PR. I really like PR. I love the third one was my absolute favorite, and I did not want it to end. I thought to me, I was like, that was way too short. um, okay, so then a couple are The Night Shift was also a really cute book. It was just kind of like a bookworm and a basketball player. That one was just really sweet. That was just kind of like one of those like one-off like really easy reads. And then lastly, I read The Deal, part of the off-campus series. I'm convincing myself to read the next one. Um, I haven't convinced myself to read the next one yet, just because that one was so good. But I've heard amazing things about it. I know people absolutely love this series, so I'm excited to hopefully dig into the next one. Speaking of, let's move on to my TBR. Some of the ones on my TBR, like I either don't have yet or I'm gonna get on Kindle Unlimited, but we'll see. So starting off strong, we have Emily Henry's Happy Place. I just haven't had a chance to read this one yet, but I've had it for a long time. I'm very excited. Again, I love anything with Emily Henry. And then we have Twisted Love. I've heard so much good, like so many good things about this series. So many. And so I'm excited to finally get into this one. Next up, we have Icebreaker. I've heard so many contrasting things about this book. If you are a hockey romance person, I definitely recommend it. I've heard great things. One of my good friends, absolutely loves it, and one of them hates it. Um, so I'm curious to see where I'm gonna fall on this line. But I have like a good feeling. And then we have the love hypothesis. I love how Ali Hazelwood's books, most of the time, the female main character is in like some STEM related job. And I love that so much. But I've heard great things about Ali Hazelwood's books, and so I only have one of them, and I'm really excited for more. Um, then we have the Unhoneymooners. I don't know why I haven't gotten to this one yet, but I've seen really good things and like rave reviews about this book, so I really want to get to it soon. Um, just more about like time. Also, the Kindle Unlimited, like you have like a streak of how many days you're going, and so I keep wanting to read more on Kindle Unlimited, so that way I keep that streak going. But there's so many physical books that I want to read, but I don't want to break that streak, and I'm just trying to find the happy medium. And then my last one on my physical TBR is Chain of Gold. This is the next series, Shadowhunter series. It takes place right after Infernal Devices. Um, there was like in one of the Shadowhunter books, there's like little stories that take place like throughout the timeline of the Shadowhunter books. And it hinted at one of the relationships that was going to happen in this book, and which made me very excited for it. And I've heard that there's more LGBTQIA romance plot lines in this book. So I'm excited for that because I'm very, very aware that most of these are cis hetero couples. They all are, except the Infernal Device, or except Dark Artifices. Um, very aware, and I don't have them yet, so the reason that they're not here is I just don't own the books yet. Red, White, and Royal Blue and Heartstopper are on my TBR. I do want to read them, but if you have any other LGBTQIA stories, love stories, please let me know because I would like to read them. Um, I tend to pick my books from like what's like the top sellers or like top in YA right now or things like that at the bookstore. And so a lot of these have just been on that list. And stupidly, LGBTQIA plus books tend not to be. And so I would like to find more. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know. But I think that's it. Um, I hope you guys have, well, first, thank you so much for watching. I hope you may have gotten your next book recommendation and able to pick up one of these. If you would like more recommendations, please let me know. I read so many romance books, it's not even funny. Um, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, rest of your day. Enjoy Valentine's Day next week and keep getting lost in your dreams. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Bye, guys.